I'm Christopher Titus.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
And this is the Armageddon Update. Healthcare. This week is the 13th anniversary of the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, which people overwhelmingly in America support, unless you call it Obamacare. And then people hate that Muslim Hussein Obama creating death panels so he can kill my grandpa and impose Sharia law. Shit. Here's Muslim Obama in a Christian church. Here's his wife, dressed like a Muslim. It's not that you people are stupid. It's that you think being stupid is a virtue. So where are we after 13 years of healthcare? Well, currently I pay for my wife and I $1,500 a month, $18,000 a year for health insurance. And I don't have any health issues at all. And for that $1,500 a month, everything is covered except for heart issues, kidney issues, lung issues, liver issues, and any pre-existing condition. In fact, if it can be traced back to you running into a glass door as a toddler, that would be a pre-existing condition. And you're probably not covered. Thanks, Blue Cross. What happened? 13 years ago, Obama got it through Congress, and Joe Biden famously said, "It's a big fucking deal." And it was. ACA. No one had made any progress on healthcare in America. Truman, by the way, way back, said in 1948, only 20%, 1/5 of our population is able to afford the medical care they need. Now, that means that there are 110 million people in this country who can't afford proper medical attention. And that is a disgrace to the richest country in the world. And that was 1948, 75 years ago. And almost every president has tried to get Americans health care since then. I mean, Ike recommended a change, Kennedy, Johnson, even Nixon saw healthcare as a problem. The only president who really didn't get behind healthcare was Morgan Freeman.
Hello, America.
But he was too busy dealing with an asteroid, which, by the way, your insurance won't cover the removal of if you have asteroids.
There are now two pieces, one 6 miles wide, the other 1.5 miles.
You got to go to the CVS and buy your own asteroid cream.
Within a week, the skies will be dark with dust from the impact, and they will stay dark for 2 years.
It's not like we don't have an example of how to make national health care work. I mean, you see how many countries actually have health care? It's crazy. Ready? Austria, Belarus, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Japan, Iceland, Isle of Man, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russia, Serbia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland, and Canada. Of these countries, 20 of them are the top countries for quality of life. Countries that don't have healthcare? Here we go. Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nigeria, Egypt, Iran, China, and the United States. Fuck, we're on the list with Iran, Pakistan, and Nigeria. Those are third world countries, and they're far behind us in everything. They don't even have a Chick-fil-A. On the list of countries and the quality of life, the United States is 21st. We, on the other hand, don't have health care because of, and because, give to, and they in turn,
come on, squeal,
the American public. It's that simple, people. The reason we also don't have generational wealth in this country is because no matter who you are, one day you're going to get sick. And because you have to spend your own money on your health care and your end-of-life care, you're going to die broke. That's healthcare in America. USA! 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 We're number 21. Wake up or never get sick. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. God, I got to go do a colonoscopy. And just the word, anytime they say the word oscopy, it's another $3,000. And I go, wait, what's that? $1,500 I'm paying a month. They go, well, it doesn't cover butt care. That's not butt care. You make it sound like it's a sexual thing, you freaks. What is going on? How's my hair? How fucked up is my hair?
It looks fucking horrific. What is it? No, it's fine.
Right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. No, you have the hat. We have one hat. Hey, everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. With me, as always, is the Highlander.
There can be only one this time.
Rachel is still in North Carolina, wrapping up Grandma's passing. By the way, we lost Grandma Jean. We'll talk about that when Ray comes back. But
cut to in memoriam right now.
Yeah, it was. I have to be honest. This one's dedicated to her because it's healthcare. This one, it was just so everybody knows. Losing Grandma was horrific, but it was. This is going to sound weird. It was a good death. If she was surrounded by the whole family.
So she's a Spartan?
It's a good Spartan. That was her last word. She was surrounded by family.
And she ducked arrows.
They also sang hymns. That morning, she was like, she seemed kind of normal, and she just was in her chair and she went to sleep. And went to sleep. And then at 1:30, she was gone. And it was quiet, and it wasn't painful, and it was so everybody know that we're all sad, and but we'd kind of all prayed that she didn't suffer, and she didn't. So there you go. I mean, except for the dying on the way. So speaking of dying, healthcare, we have problems in this country, and it's so funny because so North Carolina, this relates to Grandma. So we were like, okay, she had end of life care. We needed hospice. We needed some people to come over. Yeah. And we found out that they have a Democratic governor, that North Carolina passed a law that end of life care is covered. You don't have to pay a dime.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, that sounds, I kind of got like, it was a trick. It's a trick,
right?
This ain't really America. Right. So they covered end of life care, so no one should have to spend all their money, but that's just in North Carolina. The more I read about this, the more I read about healthcare, and I pay $15 for just Ray and I. Ray's incredibly healthy. We work out all the time. We don't have any. Like, there's no issues. There's no long standing, comorbidities, nothing. And there's like $1,500
and you're still paying $1,500.
I go, that's $18,000 a year.
Oh, shit.
That's $18,000. Mm-hmm. That's a nice used vet that I need to restore. That's like something I could have some fun with that. And, so my thing is, if people go, taxes will go up too much. Well, how much would my taxes go up? $18,000 if we had national health care?
Right. If everybody, if we had one, it's almost like a company. So a company, they have purchasing power. Right. So they can split up the
Costco
premiums. It's basically, it's bulk buying. It's Costco for healthcare,
right? And
they split up the premiums among everybody on payroll.
Do they think? So what do they think is going to happen though if they did it? Because I know why they're not doing it, but what do they think is going to happen? So explain what you're going to do. So if we all pitch in, to the system,
we all pitch in, and then it's only like $3. Everybody pitches in $3.
Yeah.
And
even if it's $30 a month, even if the whole country,
I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Even if 330 million people had to pay $30 a month, and maybe the super poor people wouldn't, and the super rich people would pay 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is 330 million times 30? It's $9 trillion.
Yes.
It's not. Wait, is that? Yeah, that's right. Because three times 330 million would be 990 million. So yes.
And the problem is, we can always find the money to to bail out whatever we want to bail out.
Everything. Ukraine, we found the money because the agriculture got to help. The NATO country's going to need food. Got it. I got reasons for it, and I got reasons for this too. But the only reason that we don't have healthcare, especially when you read the list, what freaked me out is I read the list of countries that had it.
Yeah,
and it's like Latvia. Fucking, we're getting our ass handed to us by Latvia. What is going on?
They have nothing, but they have healthcare.
Right. And then Russia even has it. We get healthcare in Russia. Yeah.
So even a world power.
But of course, their entire healthcare is stop complaining. Don't complain again.
Right.
You feel better now? Do you feel good? You're
cold soup. That's it.
I am totally cured. Thank you. Don't punch me in the face again. Thank you much. I feel much better now.
Defeat Ukraine and you get more.
There you go. You get no kidney. You defeat Ukraine, no kidney for you.
There are donors over there in Ukraine.
We have plenty of organs.
Blood donations.
They're that way.
That's their line.
You kill him, you get his heart or liver. You decide. So we have this thing in this country, and so what happened was and this happened every time they start. I read a whole about Truman, and then Kennedy said we needed it. They've noticed it's been a problem way back. Like, I mean, it's 75 years since Truman literally went full in on it.
That's what was shocking when you said that. It's like, holy fuck, we've been fighting this for our entire generation.
Right. For our 3 generations.
Well, I mean, yes. Yeah. So I'm interested to know how the other countries, yes, everybody else has it. How did they get around the capitalism?
The money part.
How did they get around that?
They're just smarter than us. The same when we went to Scotland. When we went to Scotland and we were in Scotland and we'd say we were Americans. They would just go, I got a question for you. Why you have so many guns?
Right?
What's with the guns?
Yeah.
You like guns a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like guns. And they're like, no, everybody in America likes guns. Then they would go, we'd get in a car and the guy would look up. In the Scotland, didn't matter what color they were, they didn't Pakistani, whatever. They would just go, let me ask you a question. Why do you like Donald Trump? He's the stupidest. We had Boris Johnson, but these guys stupid. And I was like, and everybody.
Yeah.
And the great thing about them, they were just very pragmatic. I think other countries are more pragmatic. I think Iceland, Norway, Sweden. My sister lives in Sweden. They have 100% healthcare taken care of all the time. And so what happened, and this happened with Truman too, which is weird. All these arguments from the right are the same arguments. Socialism, it's socialized medicine. Well, Truman came out and said, no, socialized medicine would be if the government paid the doctors and told the doctors who to cure and who not to cure.
Right.
The doctors,
that's real socialism.
The doctors can still pick who they want, and you can pick your own doctor. Mm-hmm. We just got to figure out how to get there. And I have this theory about it. So the reason, and we did it in Armageddon, the reason that we don't have healthcare in this country, when all these other, New Zealand's got this amazing, they like the top 3. They have this amazing healthcare system. And then people go, it's a smaller country. Well, we have more people. So if we all paid 30
it would
bucks,
be less.
Right?
Yeah.
It would actually be less. So I have this theory. So can't cure cancer, can't cure this, well, there's no incentive to cure anything in this country. It's not there's no fucking reason to. Mm-hmm. Why? Because if we cure it, there's no comeback.
Right.
Chris Rock did a great special about this. Hey, they're not going to cure no AIDS. They ain't going to cure AIDS. They
just
make it so you can live with it.
Yeah.
You're going to call in from work. Hey, my AIDS is acting up. That was great. Brilliant Chris Rock bit. And I think if they had nationalized health care and the government had to pay for cancer care, I bet you we'd get a lot closer to curing cancer pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, there'd be a mobilization that would be unprecedented.
It's a cultural thing. And if we mobilized as a country to make it so, we could then end baldness and
wow, this is all about you.
Penis
Why is
problems.
Okay, it can't be all about you. You got a size 14 foot.
And
can't be all about you. I'm a 12 and I thought, Jesus, 14, god damn.
I do bang my feet into a lot of things.
What I'm saying is that, so keep going. So we could solve everything, you think?
Yeah.
We would figure out, also I think then our government will put a lot more money, because right now there's no incentive to even promote healthy shit. There's not even any incentive. And I think these other countries, if you look at all, like we have like 1,200 or 1,400 ingredients, additives that we allow in America.
They're fucking banned in other countries.
Banned.
What the fuck?
They're banned as like as poison,
because lobbyists are paying off
our politicians
that are allowing and then when things get fucking passed and we're like, there's an accomplishment. Then some asshole comes in later and then Trump deregulates it.
Well, I mean, you remember the insulin thing? So the guy that invented insulin didn't take the patent. He said, this isn't for me.
Perfect example.
He said, it cost me $1. It costs $1 for a dose of insulin. He goes, so I don't, he goes, this isn't for me. I don't. So then these other companies get the patent for insulin and they're charging $300 a dose for it when it costs literally $10 to make.
It's really disgusting that we allow this. And that it's the greed in this country is just fucking, it's fucking galactic of how off the charts.
It's definitely empire. It's definitely empire. We are the empire. Yes. We are the fucking empire. You're right.
But we could be, because of our size and our,
our resources.
We could be number one at all of these things, cutting edge, medicines, cutting edge treatments, cutting edge, like people leave this country to go get cutting edge treatment. They're going to fucking Mexico.
I know someone that got cancer cured in Mexico. Not anecdotal. They were dying. She did Lourdes Colon. She actually did a great documentary about it. She was dying. She went to Mexico, got a treatment, cured it. Now she eats 100% clean. She doesn't eat any additives. She won't touch sugar. Because that's another thing too. Here's the weird thing. So when they want to find cancer in you know what they do? They inject you with sugar. Do you know what feeds? Because it lights it up.
So they can.
Do you know what feeds cancer? Sugar.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Stop. Wait.
Let's bulk it up a little bit.
Are you addicted to heroin? Let's give you some heroin. it doesn't make any sense to me. And the GOP, and I've said this, had a long, so by the way, funerals and weddings are the weirdest times in the world. Everybody all becomes a raw nerve, and anything that's been bugging them comes out.
Yeah.
Have you ever been around with your family at all?
Even unrelated things.
Yeah, shit that has nothing to do with it. So it wasn't that bad. The family, it actually spun out, and then it came. Then again, do not call Rachel on anything. Do not say something to Rachel. So someone had a problem with something, and it had nothing to do with anything, and it was wrong 100%. And Rachel, and I was like, you don't. And I'm sitting in the room when they brought it up, and I was just like, because Rachel and her sister were there. Do not. Those women were raised by Grandma Sharon, and do not. And I watched them shred this person.
Like, hey, did you check the mail?
And
it gets bit off.
And then the funny thing was, the person that said the thing understood and became a different person. It was really interesting. The one thing you can say about the people in the South is that if they believe in God, they will actually kind of analyze eventually what they really believe. I saw it happen anyway. So the funerals just got weird. I had to speak at the funeral too. I didn't know I wasn't going to. I said everything I wanted to Grandma. I wasn't going to speak because that's what I do. Everyone's like, and I don't want this. Oh, the comedian's going to get up and blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, no, I told Grandma before she died. I talked to her. I sent her text, when she was still lucid, and I was fine. And Rachel goes, and Rachel's going to speak because she's great at funerals. She kills. Sorry, I did not mean that. She's really funny.
They had lights and like somebody like
who's
opening? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the pastor was the opener. So Rachel went up and she did an amazing job. And then she goes, before she goes, what are you going to say? I go, I'm not talking. She goes,
yeah.
No, you have to. I go, no, I said it to Grandma. I don't need to speak at the funeral. And she goes, Grandma said in Scotland that you have to speak at a funeral. So I'm literally sitting there and I don't know what I'm going to say. I was brilliant. The point is, I honored her really well. So anyway, Grandma got taken care of for end of life care. But back to what we were talking about. Well, they keep saying, you got to raise taxes, socialize medicine. No, yeah, okay.
But we're already paying for it.
Yeah, if I'm paying $30, okay, so I got 18,000 or I got 30. I'll kick in 100.
Right.
I'll fucking kick in 100. 18 grand. 100.
And if so if you have a big family, you have like 4 kids or something, right?
Right. Let's you get $30. Yeah.
Right. And maybe it's a graduated scale.
So we cover it totally $50 a person. You got 5 people in your family. You pay $250 extra in taxes a year, and your fucking healthcare is covered.
Yeah. And think about, my God, the reinvestment of living in a country that your healthcare is covered. How that would change us culturally. How that would change people's career choices.
You said this about work. I thought this is interesting.
And so think of it, if
you work for a shitty company, but they have great healthcare.
Right.
So you're like, I'm not fucking leaving
and
this
then you
job.
can't leave. But guess what? Maybe you are really talented and the community could use you.
Maybe.
I'm
really
yes,
fucking
you are. Let's say somebody, I don't know, is a great welder or something, right? Or whatever. And the community could use him if he worked as a welder, the community would benefit from him and his welding products. Right. But he can't do that.
Is that his dream job, welder?
It's his dream job.
Is he like, man, I hate fucking just boxing shit at Amazon, but if I could connect this metal together, my life would be complete. But it's a weird choice. But yeah,
it's
songwriter, whatever.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right. Just your dream, whatever your dream is,
you
could chase that.
Whatever you are really talented at,
right?
That benefits everybody, right? So people are stuck
and it makes you happier, so you're not an asshole and you're fucking up traffic like everybody else, because you're not pissed all the time. You're actually got a life that you like, and you know that if you get sick, it's going to be handled,
right?
And people always say, oh, I hear all this anecdotal shit. Oh man, I don't know a guy in Canada, it took him 5 months to get a kidney. Well, it takes 5 years here. I was just listening on the way. It takes 5 years in America to get on the liver transplant list.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, if you're living your life and you have healthcare covered, right? Think of all the delays and things that people go through,
right? Or how much sicker you let yourself get.
You let yourself go for so long because it's going to cost this money, even out of pocket. Even if you have like a decent plan or something, it's going to cost you.
Not only that, even let's say you have all the money in the world and you still know that you're going to drop $5,000 to go, you know, whatever. It's like, I don't want to spend, I have money, but I don't want to blow five grand. I'm sick. I didn't do anything. I just got sick.
Right.
So number one, everybody's a lot happier because they get to work the job they want to do. They're not panicking all the time.
Yep.
It actually saves if we all do it individually and don't make companies pay for it. If we individually, we have to pay for, you know, we'll figure out like super poor people won't have to pay. And then, but the super rich will pay, instead of $250, you'll pay $500 for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
exactly.
Okay. So instead of 18 grand for the year.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, just look at that profit margin right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the math is right on that. 330 times 10. God, I hate fucking math.
The calculator doesn't go that long.
No,
is that what it is?
Well, if you go, so it's $1 billion. So it'd be $9 billion. So it's not enough.
Look.
God damn it, it's not enough.
We know it can work. It's working in other countries.
Well, that's what I don't quite understand is how come it works everywhere else?
Well, it's the same reason that we can't get the billionaires in this country to pay their fair share of taxes. It's the same problem. This country is set up to benefit the super wealthy.
Yeah. All right. So if we get even if we go $2,000, if we can go $2,000 a month with taxes, it barely gets us to $1 trillion. So let's see this.
Okay. So now I question where they get this estimate. How are they coming up with this astronomical number?
They're basing it on what healthcare costs.
What it costs us currently.
Yeah, but I think.
But the problem is it's inflated. All those costs are
100%
grossly out of control inflated.
Yeah.
Where you can get the same prescription, the same procedure.
Right.
Anywhere else.
Well, if they made it so the government handled it, doctors could, but doctors don't even get paid by insurance companies. I got a buddy who's a doctor. He stopped using insurance flat out. He's like, they don't fucking pay me.
Well, listen, if
they would build up like a $400,000 bill for his insurance.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't wait for my money.
Yeah.
So he now, instead of charging $3,000 for a procedure, he charges $650 but you have to pay it then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. That sounds all right.
That sounds good.
I'd use is he using plastic tools? You think just cheaper tools? Listen, it's not a scalpel
DIY.
Exactly. It says DeWalt on it. It's okay, but it still does the same shit. I changed the blade a lot.
You make appointments on Etsy. If we have examples of other countries successfully doing this, why can't we base the estimate on what those other countries have? Right?
But also, if you look at it this way, let's say, because the way we have it right now, there's no incentive to actually bring down the cost. What's the fucking incentive? If these companies, if there's no competition, and we just can't fucking do anything when it comes to healthcare. Like, and doctors have got to charge $3,000 for a procedure that costs $400 because the insurance company won't fucking pay them. There's no incentive to make it better.
Yeah.
But I would tell you this, if the government was in charge of it, well, government's not really great at making shit better either. Ask anybody at the VA.
Yeah, true. That's not a great example.
So we would have to start over, I think. We have to start with those healthcare system. But how do others?
Again, we don't have to, though.
How does it work? It works in Canada. It fucking works in Iceland. Is it only cold places? Is that the only thing that only work in cold places?
Right, Russia.
New Zealand has
New Zealand,
New Zealand's awesome. Australia has it. I got a question, man. So literally it would. Well, because the government would do this. Here's what would happen. The government got serious about healthcare and they're like, all right, we pay for the healthcare. So we need to actually look at all these additives that are killing people, that are like adding to diabetes, and they're changing everything. So we're going to do a countrywide program on nutrition. We're going to do a countrywide program on exercise, because that will save us like billions of dollars. Billion. I remembered it this time. Billions.
Right.
On
all
the
that
back
preventative
end.
care is going to decrease it. Right. But then there's also I bet
I love that we're figuring out healthcare in real time. On
yeah.
this podcast, we figured it out in real time. Yeah, we don't know shit about it. Let's talk about it. I wrote an Armageddon update based on research on this fucking on the internet.
Good enough. We got this.
It's perfect. It's done. Solved it. Done. Over. Man. What next? Nuclear weapons. Next week on the Titus podcast.
Climate change.
We're fixed. Done. It's only going to cost $4 a piece. Wait, I forgot billion.
Everybody chips in.
Everybody chips in $30 and it's solved. That's when I felt
How much
crazy.
does climate change cost?
That's when I felt crazy. I was like, wait, that seems, if it was that, we'd have had it done by now.
No, we're talking about how inflated that estimate. I bet that estimate, it factors in. You think about all these people that don't go, and then there's all these crazy emergency, and then there's people that don't have coverage, and they have to get,
Because what would happen is that we wouldn't have these crazy tumor. If healthcare was paid for, you'd go to the doctor. When you were supposed
immediatly.
To.
Yes,
you wouldn't go. I got to come up with $500 because I got to go pay for this test. Yep. You have insurance, yeah, but what's insurance paying? Oh, they're going to pay $200, but I have to pay $500.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. So if you said, well, every 3 months I go get checked out, well, then they catch stuff early.
Yep.
They handle it with a drug or they handle it with a simple procedure as opposed to taking you to the hospital.
And waiting for a giant tumor to get taken.
Cutting a chunk of your liver out.
Yeah.
Which is $30,000 as opposed to $300. Well, here, take this. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
These statins are going to help you. And I think that's exactly what would happen. And the government would have incentive to cure shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, we'll give everybody a grant. But here's the problem. And it goes the entire problem with our country right now. I think this is the crux of all of it is Citizens United. If Big Pharma can pay, I think it's $476 million over the last 10 years. Almost $500 million has gone to our politicians. And here's the fucked up part. You know the fucked up part? It's not just the GOP. The Democrats are taking. Of course. I think the Democrats should take 41% and they take 60%, and then it flips on other shit. So, and here's how cynical that is. That means that these fucking companies don't give a fuck about America. You know why? Because if they had a point of view, if they had an integrity, they would pick a side. They'd be like, no, we're on the side of these guys because these guys help people. They fucking pay both sides. So whoever wins, they get to fucking put their thumb on them.
Yep.
That's the cynical nature of it. It's like, it doesn't even matter. They don't even give a shit the outcome. They just want to win. They don't care who wins the election.
Yeah.
And we've got to a place now where I'm like, I hate getting older because I didn't give a shit about this stuff when I was in my 20s and 30s. I didn't give a shit. And then one day you start to realize how fucked up the system is. And you're like, wait, what? Wait, Congress? Wait. So the guys that run Congress make $194,000 a year, but they're all multimillionaires after 6 years in Congress?
Mm-hmm. Hold on a second.
How's that?
Get the calculator back out again.
Hold on. I'm not going to forget billion this time. All right, let's see. So let's say 194. Let's say 194 because they get a lot of shit covered too. So let's say a congressman makes 194. I think it's something like that, or it used to be. It's close. They get a vote on their own pay raise, which is awesome. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
And we're cool with that. Right. They get a vote how much they get on and they have universal health care. They have single payer 100% health care. Congress does. Did you know that?
Yeah,
that's fucked.
God, that's fucked.
All right, so they stay in Congress for 12 years because you're not Chuck Grassley. Okay, so after 12 years, that's not you spending a dime. You don't spend a dime of your money. You keep all 194 and you just put in the bank. You don't buy anything. You don't buy clothes, nothing. That would be $2,328,000 or $2 trillion. I don't know. 2,328,000. So 2,328. So if you didn't spend a dime, you would make in 12 years of being in Congress, you would make $2.3 million. And you're living in DC and you're not spending anything. Where are you living exactly? You know, in Nancy Pelosi's desk because there's no right. So, but I'm not saying. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're ending up with $2 million because they didn't spend anything. I'm saying Ted Cruz is worth. I mean, Mitch McConnell's worth $26 million. You're
saying it's worked in to the system.
Yeah,
that's how they earn their.
And they get to buy stock. So government comes in and go, we need a contract. We got infrastructure. We're going to give this concrete company $1 billion contract. Well, if Nancy Pelosi's husband is an investment banker,
if they would just vote for a living wage, then they would be fine. If the politicians could just have a living wage for themselves, because
they need 194. You know who? I got 8.
Do it. I got
194.
I understand now. Okay.
194, man. But wait. So here's how this works, guys. I don't know if you guys know this about Congress, but Congress can buy without any penalty. They can buy stock all they want. They can go. So if the government contract goes, because the infrastructure passed, we're going to buy all the steel from this American steel company. Well, that company's on the stock exchange. Nancy Pelosi calls her husband, who's an investment banker, and by the way, a lot of them are, and goes, "Hey, we're going to give all this money to this company." He goes, "Oh, that's coming up. When's that contract going to be announced? In a week or two? Okay, let me get in. I'm going to buy 5,000 shares of that." That's cool. And they all do it.
That's insider trading.
And the only reason I bring it, it's insider trading. Yeah. If we do it, or if Martha Stewart does it.
Right.
But the other thing is that, and here's what pisses me off even worse, Nancy Pelosi had the balls. And by the way, I'm a Democrat. I was fine with this part of Nancy Pelosi I'm fine with. But whenever people go, "Oh, you fucking so fucking lefty," I'm like, well, Nancy Pelosi introduced a bill that she wanted to let the aides, the congressional aides buy stock also. So you want to let more people insider trade? What? So
let's upset this economy even more.
I just don't. And if you know history, eventually what happens is either the society collapses or people rise up. And as you see what's going on in France, see what's going on in France right now?
No, what?
Here's how uptight France is.
Oh, yes, because of the adding the 2 years. Is that where
can you
for
imagine
Social Security?
So France has retirement at 63. Macron's like, "Hey man, the budget's kind of effed. We're gonna raise retirement age," and people are like, "What?"
By 2 months.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years. He raised it by 2 years, and they righted. They're burning shit down today. Americans like, "Oh, by the way, man, your insurance is $18,000 a year. We're not going to fix it. Oh, and by the way, we've given we're giving millions to the people that are supposed to be working for you, but they're working for me. And
when you do retire, we're just going to take all your money, and we're just going to put it in our pocket
as you die. Yeah, as you die. Oh, and we're going to kill Social Security.
You don't need that.
You know that shit you've been paying for since your first paycheck? We're going to clear that.
We'll raise the age to 150. You good? You good?
Retirement age in America. It is now.
Pretty much.
It is now.
Yeah.
You know, I remember after the crash in 2008, I remember you'd go into 2008, 2009. I know people that lost like $500,000 of their retirement after the crash.
That's another thing that you would require less of, right? Because by the time you get to in the golden years, you're going to be tapping into that Social Security
for medical
issues, and then you're going to claim bankruptcy because you have to. But had you had health insurance leading up, decades before that, if we could actually figure it out, and like you said, there's no problem at all spending $900 billion on the military or $700 billion on the military. There's no problem at all about spending. We pay so much in interest on our debt and stuff too, but it's weird to me that we can't figure out a way. If fucking Latvia can fix it. Come on.
If Latvia can step up and go, we're going to help. I can't do a Latvian accent. I don't know what that is.
The budgets we have for our military and our militarized society, like for the police departments is well, Biden said there's charts floating around the internet of like showing our budget versus the rest of the fucking world stacked.
So Biden said that our entire budget every year is $3 to $4 trillion a year, and he said if we had healthcare for everybody, our budget wouldn't even cover it. But again, right now, the insurance. Okay, so let's say I said $15,000 a year. That would $15,000 a year per person would cover the crazy budget they said, and I'm sure it was researched by insurance companies. I'm sure.
Yeah, it huge.
I'm sure the cost.
You can't afford this.
Sure, keep it the way it is. I'm sure.
Latvia figured it out.
Yeah,
we can't.
Again, Latvia, fucking Latvia. The Isle of Man figured it out. There's 9 people and a goat that live there, and they figured out universal health care. New Zealand, we're not. I don't get it. Scotland, Ireland. We were there. It's fine. It's a beautiful country. My biggest fear is that there's not going to be any fear. How do we change it though? The only way to change it is everybody's got to be fucking pissed, vote everybody out, demand it. We have to demand it.
We have to write it into the fucking Constitution. Yeah. Some kind of amendment. As we take a break, we'll be right back after these messages from Next Evo Naturals.
I like that you looked over. You're like, I don't even know. Next Evo Naturals, man, more CBD oil. These, by the way, and the way it absorbs better too. It's not just pure oil because your body's water based. It doesn't want to mix really well.
Right.
Yeah.
It works faster when you want to de-stress.
And I sleep better on it. And if you know what's been going on with the stress of losing grandma and stuff, I have not been sleeping. That made me sleep.
Yes, guys. Speaking of health and your sleep and stress management, it's just as important as your exercise and nutrition. Make CBD a part of reaching your full potential. Try Next Evo Naturals capsules, gummies. That's fun. They come in gummies.
I like gummies, yeah. Because it's like you're getting candy.
Right.
Yeah.
And topical creams with smart sorb technology, clinically proven to be better absorbed by your body.
It comes in any form possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little squirt gun.
I get a mist.
Yeah. Just walk into it. Get 20% off your first order of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast and use promo code Titus. That's 20% off at nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code Titus.
Guys, I want you guys to know the CBD oil it's just my brain calms down. All I know, I take it, my brain calms down. It doesn't get me freaky, and I sleep so much better on this stuff. So give it to them again. Where can you get it?
You can get it at nextevo.com/podcast. Don't forget to use the promo code Titus.
And what's the deal on the promo code Titus? Do we get
20% off your first order of $40 or more?
Oh, well, some advertisers need to step up. That's 20%. Is pretty solid. That's pretty good. Get it, guys. It works. All right, here, check this out. Police have fired tear gas and clashed with violent anarchists in Paris as hundreds of thousands of...
they're anarchists.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, anarchists. They just don't want to... They're just lazy is what they are. Yeah. But they're energetic to protest.
Right.
It's fun. I guess they're not old yet. Thousands of
right. That's a funny point. Is like they're all forward thinking. They're all just like, hey, in 50 years, I'm going to need that.
I'm 26 now. Damn it. I'm going to need those 2 extra years. They fired tear gas and clashed with violent anarchists in Paris as hundreds of thousands of mainly peaceful protesters marched across France against President Macron's pension reform. I love that pension reform. He added 2 years. Like it's not that big a deal, really. If you think of they. By the way, did you see the garbage packed up in the streets? It's like it's like 15 feet high of garbage, and they're burning shit down. We don't do anything when we invade another country. A war starts, and we're like, yeah, well, I don't know. Okay. What's on TV? In the 9th day of nationwide protests, train and air travel was disrupted while teachers were among many professionals to walk off the job just days after the government pushed through legislation to raise your retirement age by 2 years. Oh, by 2 years to 64. It was from 62 to 64.
Ours is right now. It's a 65
right now, and they want to raise it to 70. And you know what we'll do?
And we don't have better health outcomes.
We'll go.
It's not like
okay, yeah.
It's not like we're doing.
Here's how
better.
good their healthcare is. They eat cheese, drink wine when you're 4, and sausage,
olive oil at birth,
and they're skinny and fine. Demonstration in Central Paris were generally peaceful. Smaller groups of black bloc anarchists smashed shop windows, demolished street furniture, and ransacked McDonald's restaurant. The difference in America is they'll just start shooting you with rubber bullets. This isn't like they killed someone on television like they did with George Floyd.
Yeah, exactly.
I get those.
Yeah.
This is like, what? I'm going to have to go to work for 2 more years, my whole life, and I bust my ass for 62 years. Now I could go to 64. Bullshit.
How dare you?
I just love that they're out of control. They're just, we're so here's the thing. We're so used to getting fucked over in America.
Yep.
We would have just went, all right.
We've been really, even when there's like a BLM protest, did you know that there's these fucking police departments will infiltrate it? Yeah. They'll put a secret, a member.
Yeah.
It's an officer. And that officer will then try to instigate and make them do something illegal.
Dude, this happens on...
It's so fucking corrupt here.
No, but this happened in... Okay, so I owned a house in Canoga Park years ago, and behind the house was this kind of, this field. It's right by Pierce College. And they were going to put in this bus line that goes all the way from Warner Center all the way... It's that big thing that goes across L.A. Uh-huh. It's that, the bus line, that center thing on Chandler.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were putting in that. So I owned this house, and it was going to end up right behind our house. And they were going to build this 6-foot alley between the wall of the bus station stuff and my house. And all I thought was, well, that's going to be crazy. There's just going to be homeless area. That's all it's going to be. And this is when I had the TV show. Yeah, basically that's what would happen. So I went to the meeting. I go to the meeting. I go to the meeting to talk, and
How'd that go?
Yeah, well, it went exactly how you thought. So the guy's talking to me, standing. I go, I got a question. So, and this funny thing is like, so it's this bus thing, and there was a picture, there was a rendering on the wall, and it was a bus, and then there's two lanes of bus, right?
Yep.
And in between the buses was a grass patch about 15 feet wide, and on that grass patch between the two buses, one going this way, one going that way, was a child playing with a soccer ball. And I was like, are you telling me that kids are going to be
Who has
playing?
No health insurance is going to die.
But the kid was playing between the buses on this little strip of grass. So you're going to let children play as the buses are whipping by? And the guy goes, well, it's just a rendering. I go, I want to know exactly what's going on. What studies have you done? Well, we've done numerous studies. And there's two guys over here that do this, and they're watching me. And I'm like, and they look like they were short hair. They had like a
mustache.
They had bowling shirts on because it hides a gun.
And like mirror sunglasses.
And they were like, hey man, let him finish. And I go, we've been hearing him for 20 minutes. I go, he hasn't said anything's going to happen. He didn't say, I go, this meeting is supposed to be if we want this or not. He's telling us it's already done. Hey, why don't you just let him talk? And I realized these guys are cops, or they're security, making sure that this meeting goes the way it's going to go. Yep. And I realized, and I turned to the guy next to me. The other guy go, they're doing this. This isn't about if we want it. They're just doing they're fucking
the
doing
meeting.
This.
They just have to do it for legal reasons.
Yes. Yeah. And so I walked out and sold the house. Next week I put the house up for sale.
I love the renderings where they'll just make like there's like little happy symbols.
They're making shit up.
Yeah. They're just
kids playing soccer as the
homeless people like,
even if he doesn't get a hit, homeless people. What are you doing? I've got a job.
I'm thriving.
Even if he doesn't get by the bus, he's breathing in diesel fumes. Like you just don't quite get. There were so many levels of wrong to the rendering, but that's how we are. We bullshit everybody in America. We just bullshit. Look at kids' cartoons and stuff. Remember they had to come up with a law because they were saying that kids' cereal, not kids' cartoons, but the commercials during kids' cartoons, like they come up with a law that they had to have some nutritional value.
They did?
I thought there was a law years ago. Yeah, they were like, you can't just say these toys and the sugary cereals.
I thought that it was. I know that they couldn't advertise in cartoons. So they were using cartoons
that's
as
right.
like,
it was actually in the cartoon.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it was like embedded in it.
That's the bare minimum we'll do. We can't let the hero that you follow on cartoon
right. Also turn around
sell you Lucky Charms.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck. What is wrong? I just hope everybody's starting to understand. I think people keep saying, "Oh, I got an argument with one of the relatives at the funeral about." He said, "I go, do you think Biden lost?" And he goes, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, he got 8 million more votes." I go, "Yeah, because the last time we elected a crazy guy and people went, oh shit, I better vote."
Yeah. And
he goes, "No, it's impossible." I go, but so here's how we cure that. Here's how we fix it all. And the only way, and the problem is you have to have the people that you're going to get rid of vote that it's okay to get rid of them. The only way to fix this right now, because of all the money that's in politics and all the power that's in politics. That's why you have these assholes that will do anything to win again, because they're getting so much money. And the PAC rules, the Political Action Committee rules, like Trump got $226 million by saying, we're going to stop the steal fund. Well, he never did anything to stop the steal, but he got $226 million from Americans.
And he's doing it again.
So here's what you do. You say fucking no money in politics. Zero. There's no fucking lobbyist. Yeah. There's zero money. Now, I know that's pie in the sky, but you go, but we are going to, anybody who applies to run, you're going to get a budget. Everybody gets the same. You get $3 million. I'd be more than willing to let the government do it. Mm-hmm. You get $3 million. Every TV station, by the way, this doesn't cost the candidate anything, but every news organization has to give each candidate the same amount of time, 3 minutes apiece. Yeah. Whatever it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
So we come up with rules so it's all fair across the board. You take all the money out and you make it so when you get in, you can't buy stock. Mm-hmm. You can't, for those 4 years of your end, you can't buy stock. You can't do any kind of outside business. You just work for, like the military. When you're in the fucking military, you don't get to go do another job. You don't, right. You don't get to go buy
side hustle.
Yeah, you don't get a side hustle. Yeah. Right. So you basically get service to the country. So you're doing a service to the country. What would happen was if there was no way to make a fucking huge profit out of getting that power, you'd just get people that wanted to help the country. You'd actually get pure patriots that are like,
Right.
well, I'm going to go in, I'm going to run for 4 years. You get 2 terms. I'm going to stay for 8 if I can, do the best I can for America. And then I'm going back to work.
Yeah, you get people that actually want to help,
Yes,
not just in it for themselves.
Yes, you get people that gave a shit about the country as opposed to going, how much can I wait? I can make $226 million by just talking shit like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's times from the shit she was getting like $3 million a month in donations.
And if you undo some shit and deregulate some shit, you'll make even more money.
Right.
And if you appeal to the coal industry and the oil industry, oh man, that's the big bucks, baby.
Yeah. Well, that's why everyone's California, by the way, we faced an onslaught of powerful atmospheric river storms. By the way, again, I want to point out, people, we didn't have shit called atmospheric river before climate change. They're now making stuff up to make it sound normal. It looks like our drought is over. According to the latest U.S. drought monitor released Thursday morning, just over a third of California remains, only a third in some level of drought. The lowest amount since the drought began. A severe drought only covering 8% of the state. Wow, that's awesome.
You know what really takes advantage of the this rainfall we've had?
What?
Sunday.com.
You know what? When I saw them today, so Sunday saved our lawn. When we first moved into this house, we had our lawn was screwed. It was just, and so we got these guys came in.
It was like a California lawn.
It was definitely California lawn, especially with the drought, because it was just like we were doing. And Ray had,
and you don't want to paint it.
And Ray had the sprinklers just set before felony. She was just because there were so many drought rules. She was
that's on the dial.
Yeah, it was literally I can't
fine.
Yeah,
double fine.
Yeah, felony. So we had the sprinkler set just on the ragged edge of felony, and we got notices. We got some notices. You guys are watering your lawn too much, so rates back to town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the lawn started to hurt, and but then we got these guys, and the lawn came back with the same water we had, with the lower level water, which is great. Well, then we got another thing that said, "Listen, we're in severe drought. We got to go." So the lawn got a little worse, and we still use the product. It still worked great with the lawn. And then we got this rainfall that was insane. And because we've been saturating the lawn with this stuff, right?
Yep.
But the lack of water was hurting the lawn. It wasn't this stuff. Without doing anything, our lawn is back. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I think it's because this stuff was still in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's the best stuff, guys.
And it's like Jumanji out there.
Yeah.
It's like
Here's what Sunday will do for you. So when you sign up for Sunday, they check out where your house is. They do they give you a satellite image of your house. They actually do soil. They actually know what the soil is. So they do a basic soil analysis by where you live. Then you send them a little bit of soil. They tell you exactly what's in your soil, and then they put you on a program that gives you exactly what your lawn needs, and it works. I have to be honest. I was stunned at how good this worked.
There's no harsh chemicals in it, because I feel like that would be somebody's first question.
No, they use all kinds of other stuff. There's got to be a list on the thing.
They only use ingredients you can feel good about. No harsh chemicals, no long waiting periods, or trying to keep your kids and pets off the lawn.
Right.
Simply apply, let it dry, and you're back to enjoying your yard. Sunday is easy and affordable. Some lawn care services cost more than $1,500 a year, but Sunday's full season plans start at just $109.
Yep, and the stuff shows up exactly what you need with instructions on how to use it.
Nice.
It's been so good. And Rachel loves our lawn, so she was so bummed out
That's
when
worth
they kept cutting
more
back the
than
water. Right? Have you tell her, she goes, look at the backyard. I go, it's awesome.
Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off, people. Full season plans start at just $109, and you can get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/Titus at checkout.
Yeah, and we got a couple years to the next drought, so come on, people.
Yeah, hurry up and get on it.
Sign up.
That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Titus.
Okay, so drought conditions improved much California since December. 40% of California is classified as extreme or exceptional drought in early December. But since the atmospheric river, the dozen plus atmospheric rivers that we've been getting dumped on. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's been crazy here.
Wow, that's okay. So this is where we were in drought, right? This is where we were, right? That's where we were. Here's where we are now.
Wow.
LA's out of the drought. Look at that. That's crazy. So we were up at the cabin, and I'm going to go next week, but the cabin, we have 600 inches total for the season. I think that we're at the base of the mountain.
Is that a record?
I think 639. I think we were, when I read the thing at the news, they said we were 3 inches 3 inches from their all-time record.
The winter of 1850.
The Donner Party was like, it's fuck. yeah. That was the last record, the Donner Party. When it was so cold, people were eating other people. That's how bad it was. So now it's at 600 inches for the season. We've got I think there's a 270-inch base right now. And we couldn't even get to the cabin. When we went to the cabin, we couldn't even get into it. We had to slide down a hill to get into the cabin. It was crazy. So that's good. I mean, that's good news, I guess. So we'll be able to water the lawn again this year. Because we'll do what we always do. We won't conserve any water. We'll just keep doing what we did until the next drought comes. Because that's what we do in America.
I gotta say, man, LA it's not designed for any rainfall at all.
Built it as a desert.
Yeah, but it could have at least planned for some water to run along the road. It's almost like designed to collect it with a fucking middle finger.
Why? This happens once every 13 years. Why they're like, fuck it.
Well, everything, and then we have mudslides.
Or they'll put one like, so there's always like on the way home, there's always one intersection that's got literally 2 4-wheel drive ditches in it that everything just fills up. Dude,
the difference is this. Okay, in other cities and boroughs or whatever, in zoning, they have like a road will be peaked like a roof line, right? Peak going away from the center, so it throws
that's
it to
what gutters are for.
That's what gutters are for.
Right, there you go. Yeah,
there's parking lots in California where it's sending it to the middle. Just run it, just send it like a river.
Yeah, because I think it's because the people in Caltrans are just really care about their jobs.
They want to keep them. They need to keep.
We have so what happened is there is I have low profile tires in my car. I'm always a hot rod guy, and there was right by our house. There's at the end of Van Alden. There's this light, and I did it 3 times in a row because the water was so high that I didn't see the pothole that was this big. And
the potholes
deep.
now. Yeah.
So I'm coming across, kabang! And I'm like, well, that's a wheel. There you go. Wheel's gone. No more. So I've got one metal wheel on my car. At one point, I should just put all 4 of them on. Just get 4 of them, put 4 of them on because why? Potholes. That's why, you dumb. What else is going on? So we've got Trump might be getting indicted. That looks like it's going on. They keep talking about it. Trump came out last week and was like, I'm getting indicted.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a pet peeve of mine. He said next Tuesday. He did, which he may have used correctly, at least in my opinion. He said on Saturday, he said, I'm going to get indicted next Tuesday.
Not this Tuesday.
He didn't say Tuesday or this Tuesday. So.
Well, you know what messed him up, which is great. He's like, I want protests. People should be out there protesting this abuse and blah, blah. And they did. There was a lot of protests. And they were like, Trump needs to go to jail. No one's above the law. There was like 500 people out in front of Trump Tower going, gotta go. This guy's got to get arrested. So it didn't really work out the way he wanted, which is really funny to me.
And it's interesting that he's the sole reason that the announcement was made. He did it. He announced it himself.
Yeah.
Like he's doing this. It's like another PR stunt.
Yeah, well, he thinks what's going to happen. So I have some very right wing people in my family, and I brought something up about this, and he said, I hope they arrest him, like because it'll get him elected again. And then I was like, that's bullshit. Then I realized that when Hitler, so you got to remember, Hitler started to do this crazy shit. Hitler then got arrested. Mm-hmm. He got put in jail. Yeah, Hitler was in jail for he got a 5-year sentence. I think he did 3. Yeah. And you just correct me if I'm wrong. All you Dennis fix it. So he wrote Mein Kampf while in prison. Yep. Then came out, reorganized.
Posted it on Truth Social.
Yes, he had his own social media network. They called it Books at that time. That was a social media network. It was called fucking Books. And he then so it goes out there, Mein Kampf comes out, and then next thing you know, he's Chancellor of Germany, and so
he's like a man of the people, anti-hero.
But it's like I don't understand history. I got in a long argument. So we're sitting there at the house, and everybody's coming over because Grandma had passed, and she's got some really right wing relatives, and 2 of them, it was me and 2 of them sitting there, and one of them, he's an investment guy, and he was talking, and he's really good at playing it down the middle because he's an investor guy. He doesn't need, right. And he kept asking, he kept saying to me that the Muslims are taking over the country.
Oh, that's again.
I go, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, that's how to do it. And he goes, they're having so many kids so they can take over the world. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, but what? So again, to what end? So they can run it. Mm-hmm. I go, they can't get together in the Middle East.
They don't have health insurance.
I go, none of them have. But also I pointed out, he said, Islam is out of control. I go, well, Islam based on the Prophet Muhammad is kind of chaos. It's chaotic. I mean, if you look at, none of these countries who are all Islam can't even get along with each other.
Yeah.
How are they going to take over our country?
Exactly.
I go, how? And I go, it's a religion based on chaos. And he was like, he goes, well, they're trying. I go, again, just explain it to me. How is a bunch of people who in their own country, the Sunni, can't get along?
And how many other examples of other countries saying it's their fault? This group of people is trying to take over, as a pretext for oppression.
By the way, let's bring some Jews in and see what they have to say. Remember that? Yeah. So it was, we were told you guys were taking over in Germany. How'd that work out? It didn't work out. Yeah. See, so shut the fuck. I'm amazed at the level of
cognitive dissonance.
It's not even, I think it's more sinister than that. I think it's a misdirection, whether it's the gays or the trans or the Muslims. There's a sinisterness to it's a bunch of con men doing their con shit and go and look over there. And it's over and over and over. And throughout history, this has been going on. And we have the internet, we have all this shit. We should be smarter than this. Yeah. And yet we're still falling for it.
Yeah. And the thing with like trans people, it's such a red herring because there's the percentage
trans athletes 0.01%. There's total in the entire country of 330 million, not billion.
And what are they? They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything harmful to anyone.
No, they want to play sports. And to even become a trans athlete, you have to have 2 years of hormone therapy. Which, if you're a man and you take 2 years of female hormone therapy, you don't have the strength anymore. So you're not. No one's dominating. No one's like, no one's like, man, that little league chick, she's really blowing it up. That's not happening. And it's 46,000 athletes total in the entire, and that's from little league to high school, and it's 0.01% of the country, and that they're turning everybody around. And Jon Stewart did a great thing. Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart we should just let Jon Stewart be president. We should just be like, no, we don't have to vote. Yeah. He was talking to one of the Republicans about this is last week and when I was on the road, and he goes, so I got a question. Why are you going after drag shows? He goes, because we need to protect children. He goes, I'm sorry, what? He goes, we need to protect children. He goes, okay, do you know what the number one killer of children in America is? And he goes, I'll tell you what it's not drag shows. He goes, you're probably going to say it's guns. He goes, I'm not going to probably say it's guns. It's guns. Yeah. More than cancer, more than car accidents, it's guns. And this dude just stood there. And I think the Republicans I keep wondering why, this hit me yesterday. Why do they keep getting away with it? How come no one jams them up? How come Al Franken gets run out of office and these guys do
could just run roughshad on any topic?
But Boebert said 1776 on the day of the insurrection. She tweeted out 1776. That means you were on the side of the insurrectionists, right? Still in power, and won her next election by 556 votes. I don't get it.
And no, nothing happens. No,
because they stopped talking about it.
Well, let's talk about Trump again. Right. Speaking of somebody who is a serial criminal, who his attorney went to jail, and he let him go to jail for. He went to jail for him, and he didn't do it.
Nope. But what is it about?
Holy shit!
Oh, I have a theory about Trump. Can I tell you my theory about Trump? Oh, well,
please.
Who's next? By the way, who's next?
Speaking of, let's put somebody in the garbage. Speaking of Trump and garbage, Lomi. This episode is brought to you by Lomi.
I love this thing. Well, this goes back to the yard too, because Ray's using guys. What this thing does is it takes scraps and stuff and turns it into basically really, really high nutrient dirt. And it does it. It's like this big. It's like size of a toaster and a half. Yeah. And it's not a big pile in the backyard that you go throw garbage in and gets hot. And you plug it in, you put it in, boom, it's clean. It looks like a piece something that Apple built, and it makes
simple, right? One button.
She's using it for all the plants in the yard. She actually takes it out and puts it in the plants in the yard, and they're high nutrient plants now.
I bet it works out too. It saves you on trash, right? Trash bags, because definitely. I bet that it probably pays for itself. Almost like healthcare would pay for itself.
About a third less. Yeah, about a third less.
Lomi allows you to turn food scraps into dirt with the push of a button. It is a countertop electric composter that turns scraps to dirt in under 4 hours.
Yep.
There's no smell, and
It's
it
magic.
runs very
For under
quiet.
4 hours.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's magic.
If you want to start making a positive environmental impact, speaking of climate change, or just make cleanup after dinner that much easier, Lomi is perfect for you. Head to lomi.com/Titus and use the promo code Titus to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you head to lomi.com/Titus and use promo code Titus at checkout.
What's really cool about it is that you just open it up, you throw the stuff in there, you close it up, and 8 hours later.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer. Yeah.
It's not a big, it's not everybody who's done this in the past trying to, use their food scraps or whatever, their garbage to turn it into something. It's, you had to stir it. It was a big thing. And it's so clean and perfect.
You had to be a farmer.
You had to be a farmer. You had to know what's going on. What's the temperature?
Know about agriculture.
Yes. And so I'm happy we
have an almanac.
It's got it. I love that we use the stuff that we do. All right. So the parents of the Oxford High School shooter will stand trial for 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The parents of the kid who took the gun in. That's awesome. We need to do this all the time.
Yeah, it's about time.
So basically said, wow, they're going to be charged with all 4 deaths too. Wow. They've argued the charges have no legal justification and that they should not be held responsible for their son's killings. Well, their son was underage. Yeah, that's exactly. If I burnt something down in high school and I wasn't 18, they would have called my dad.
Yep.
Written opinion. A panel of judges for the state appellate court acknowledged the possible precedent setting and nature of this case. Oh, please. Holding parents accountable for their child's crimes. Fuck, isn't that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
If your kid takes his car and he doesn't have a license and he runs over somebody, you should have been watching your kid.
Yeah, what the fuck were you doing?
Oh, man, we've changed so much. My dad would have taken me to jail.
Oh, hell yeah.
He'd have been like, no. And we share a defendant's concern of the potential decision. The opinion said these concerns are significantly diminished by the fact that Crumbley's actions were reasonably foreseeable and the ultimate test that must be applied. So basically, they knew their kid was a psycho. He had access to the guns. Right. And it wasn't like they had locked him up and he broke in.
There you go. There's two forms of evidence.
Right.
Okay.
Like because I drink so much wine now, my dad could have been foreseeable. Said, well, I left alcohol all the time, and that's why he's an alcoholic. So I'm good. I think we need to start taking a little more responsibility. Parents, but even my ex with my kids when they were in school, if they did bad in school, if they did bad, she would say, I would go, you need to start. We need to get you a tutor and let's get going. Yeah. And then they would go back to her, and her mom would say, oh no, the teacher doesn't like you. And I remember thinking, so the teacher has just picked my kids out of a whole bunch of kids to not liking him back. So he's doing his work, right? But he's getting the D, right? Is that how the teacher's doing that? Again, to what end? People ask yourself this when someone gives you some crazy fucking conspiracy. Go, okay, what's the end game on that? Because it never works out. You want to. Oh, this is the great thing. People have been saying, define woke. What does woke mean? What does woke mean to you?
Oh, what does woke mean to me? Okay, woke means empathy. Woke means understanding other people's cultures and backgrounds, and making sure that.
We're all treated
I'm
equally.
aware of that.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. So we all get treated equally,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yep. So
they've been asking these conservatives. Okay, well, the conservatives are going on liberals news shows. Explain what woke. So there's a great video where the girl goes, she's on Zoom and she just goes, "What does woke mean?" Well, woke is woke means woke. She's a conservative. Woke. And then she goes, by the way, sometimes people just let your inside voice speak. She goes, well, this is going to go viral. Dude. Shit. You might just say, I shot him. Darn. God, it was me. Fuck. I said it again. Like, why do people?
Because they've turned it into just a weapon. Just an accusation.
But I've even heard
it's a catch-all term.
Yeah, but I've heard conservatives say it, and they say woke, and I'm like, what is it? What does it mean? And they're like, that you guys
it's transgender.
Okay, well, but what is I go and I asked. We got in a big argument after. This was so weird about this one relative. Well, I like the guy, by the way. I like the guy. He's fine. Conservative, like the guy. We were after all this stuff happened with Ray and stuff. We went out and we were talking in the driveway, and I was going over this. I'm going, and I finally said, I go, why do you give a shit what I believe? I go, why do you care? It doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
And I go, I don't give a shit about what you believe. I don't. I'm not going to try to change it. That you believe that, okay, fine. Why? He goes, oh, you believe that these people should be doing this. And then I go, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I go, anybody, what about kids? I go, if anybody touches a kid, they should go to jail forever.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, exactly. And I go, but these people aren't doing that. You know, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I brought up school shootings, and he goes, it's so funny. People's arguments are so predictable. He goes, yeah, you know why we have guns? So we can take down the government. And I started laughing. I'm in the driveway and I start laughing. And I go, so you're going to take on an Abrams tank. You're going to F-22 Raptor. You're going to just deal with the drones that are launching Hellfire missiles. You're going to deal with all that.
You're going to take on the military that has the biggest budget on the planet.
Which gun you can use on the drone that's blowing up fucking Russia?
Which one of your fucking lawn darts are going to use?
But at one point, and I got an argument with someone else recently about it. Someone was saying they have an idea to get to save kids in schools from school shootings. And I go, yeah, you can stop. You make sure that you have a psych eval, and you make sure that people who have guns have a federal standard, and they have background checks, and they have 10 people signing off. And he goes, no. What you do is you actually get the police to practice at the schools at night. They get to go to schools, and they do drills at the schools, so they know exactly what's going on. And I was like, just that you're so far beyond the problem, that you've just got, like, because there's no other country in the world this happens. Yep. And when are we? Man, I don't know. Educate. So Citizens United,
money out of politics, which is those are combined.
Citizens. What was the other one? Citizens United. Term limits, fairness doctrine, and then we need to do what other countries do when it comes to, the problem is to go, what are you gonna do? Just pull everybody's gun and go. It doesn't work anyway. People are still gonna have guns. I go, not on Australia. They took them away from the bad guys, and they haven't had a mass shooting since. Yeah, Japan, you can get a gun, but it takes a minute. And and guess what? We kill I think 32 or 18 per 100,000 by guns.
You know what? That's probably what that HELLthcare number is. It's all the fucking bullets. It's all the shootings and all the maiming that is. But again, that's like stats of other countries, right?
Right.
How other countries have handled gun control, HELLthcare.
It works.
It works.
So it's not like, So
it's not like no one's figured it out.
But what I don't get is, how come no one in our leadership is saying this?
I don't know.
How come no one in our leadership goes, hey, by the way, guys, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, even China, by the way. China is almost at 100% HELLthcare. China. Question, why don't we just use what they're doing?
Big bad Russia and big bad China.
Because we don't have bad socialism. And this has been going on for 75 years.
That Russia and China care more about their citizens than the United States. Holy shit. God, that is a depressing.
This has been a depressing.
It is a very depressing.
This is a depressing day. Well, but you'd had some health issues in the past.
Yeah, recently. Yeah. I had a cancer scare. This was actually my second cancer scare in my life.
Wow.
And man, it is.
You got to de-stress.
Yeah. Speaking of de-stressing.
Yeah, what do we got?
Wait, I think we did it already.
Yeah, we did.
HelloFresh. That's de-stressing.
Yeah, you know why? Because they don't have to figure out what to cook or how to cook.
That's right.
They send me the stuff. Boom. I grab it. They give me the. By the way, I've done this. Did I tell you I did this?
Yes, you did.
And I showed you the picture. I did.
Yes, we're all so proud of you.
It kind of looked like it. It was like, because they give you the perfect one that's all glazed and shot, and then I did mine. It was a little burnedy. It was a little more burnedy, but it looked exactly the same, except for the burned part.
You plated it similar.
I did plate it similar. It worked good.
For you.
Guys, you guys got to go to this company.
Yeah, I agree. I've done it a bunch of times. I can vouch for it, and I'm a single dad. Okay,
it's HelloFresh. HelloFresh is HelloFresh.
Yeah, let's turn it into HelloFresh.
HelloFresh, bro. By the way, food shows up, people. It is fresh. They give you step-by-step thing how to cook it. Honestly, because of this, can I tell you this? So because of this, because of HelloFresh and how they send it. So you still have to cook, right? You still have to cook.
Yeah.
But it's set up for you. You're not panicking. You know exactly how much to put in, except for you who actually, you like the seasoning so good. This guy,
it's a suggestion to me.
The seasoning is so good. He saves it for other stuff.
It is so good. Yeah. I like to spread it all out.
He takes like half and he's like, now we're going to put this on the next stuff I get. So what happens is that we did this. I cooked a bunch of meals with this. And then I realized that I could cook. And when we went to the cabin with the kids, I took the kids up to snowboard. Yeah. I was getting up every morning and making omelets.
Oh, that's great.
Well, it took away the fear. It took away the fear. Because nothing worse than buying food and then cooking it badly where it's inedible. Yeah. Although I will say this, pay attention to the directions and look at the timing.
Which are easy. And it's just pictures.
They're great.
But
I still got that thing in my head from growing up with my dad. I don't need these directions. Oh, yeah. Like there's 12 bolts, there's 12 holes. They go.
That's a guy thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But this for guys. Yeah. This is perfect.
And if you're dating and you get this, don't tell her you have this. Right. Just cook her a meal. And she's been like, my God. And you're like, uh-huh.
And you're like, hello, fresh.
I cook everywhere, including the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. All right. And if you've got any diet preferences or things like that, they have all of that covered.
You can pick that on the website.
You can select it, and it's like easy to do on the website. They have 40 weekly recipes to choose from for all occasions, all lifestyles and preferences. The dinners are easy to make. Chef-crafted, seasonal recipes that come with ingredients already pre-portioned. So all you have to do is cook and enjoy.
They have to because they want to continue your subscription. So it's all good. I've never gotten anything I was like, this.
Same. Go to HelloFresh.com/Titus60 and use code Titus60 for 60% off. Plus free shipping.
How much?
60% off.
For the subscription, 60? Well, that's crazy.
I was like, take a double take on that. Yeah. America's #1 meal kit.
So they're trying to get rid of TikTok. In his first appearance before Congress on Thursday, TikTok CEO Xiao Chu was grilled by lawmakers who expressed deep skepticism about his company attempts to protect the U.S. after data and ease concerns about ties to China. It's a rare chance for the public to hear from Chu, who offers very few interviews. He seemed like he's a very nice guy. He was saying that this is not national security issue. Yeah, no, dude, it is.
No, it's an absolute.
Our CIA's like, bro, you're gathering everybody's stuff, where they are, who they are, what they are, and you're doing it. It's always funny to me. It's not hard to figure out things. It's really not, and in America, for some reason, we seem to be going more corrupt than I've ever seen. When I look at our politicians, you Boebert, Green, Pelosi actually saying she wants to give the assistance, and she stopped, by the way, because people jumped her ass. At least she was like, oh yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. But I think she did it for political reasons.
That's a Democrat. They will listen. They won't just railroad.
They won't just force it through a yeah. But can I say, man, I don't know how to fix it. I feel like we're at a weird place.
Yeah, I know. It feels.
I think
it feels hopeless a little bit.
I said this in that big speech we had those two conservatives. I said we are at a place now where I fear what has to happen to change it.
And I'm jealous. It's a weird jealousy of other countries that are ahead of us in terms of
Latvia. Right. Fucking Latvia has healthcare.
Yeah,
I've never yearned for Latvia. I've never been like, man. I need to get a heart transplant. Where are you going? Latvia. Why? Because they got their shit together. That's why. All right, people.
Jesus.
Are you ready? What are you doing? You ready for this?
Yeah. What?
Are we doing this?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys. Before we go any further, 21st to 22nd. Where am I? By the way, go to the website. Follow me on Instagram. There's some stuff coming up now. I'll make sure I'm not going out for a couple more weeks, so we'll let you know next week where I'm going. Ray will be back next week. Ray is currently cleaning out Grandma's house, and I learned. So Grandma's house was this cute little grandma house. And she was there, and it was so awesome. I went there, and the dogs flipped out because she had toys for the dogs, and she always made pumpkin roll for me, and we would sit and play cards at night. Nice. And it was so fun. Like we'd laugh our asses off. And once Grandma passed, man, it just was stuff. And I looked around, I was like, wow, all we do is we gather stuff, and then we pass. And the family came in and went like,
and went shopping.
Yeah. Well, we asked them to do, because if you want anything for grandmas, and they did. And
well,
and there was some people that were there was one person. There's a woman named Miss Judy who was she was coming over after Grandma died. They have a thing in the South. They're very, 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 very like take care of you. Miss Judy's coming over, and we were depressed and sleeping late. And we were drinking wine at night, talking to my grandma, and I was sleeping late, and so was Ray. And Miss Judy would sit on the couch. We'd get up. She'd make us breakfast. She was taking care of the house, and she did that for 4 or 5 days. And it was so awesome to see. It's so weird. Here's how the South works, though. And Ray, I'll talk about this. So we go to the funeral, right? We have a funeral.
Yep.
Everybody's there. Then we all talk at the funeral for 20 minutes. Then we go to this place to have a big meal. Just like it was like a ballroom, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's there from the funeral, has a big meal, and we all talk. That lasts for 2.5 hours. Then we're like, all right, we had a 2.5 hour funeral. We had a 2-hour meal. Let's go home. We go home, and everybody from the meal showed up to the house. Guys, are we living together now? What's going on? Did we do?
You had another town hall meeting.
Oh, and here's another thing.
Shit.
Exactly. Yeah, it didn't stop, man. It was 6 hours of shit. And then here's what happened. And they're nice people, but here's what happened. So then we get done, and I'm like, all right. I'm gonna lock it down. I'm gonna hang out with these people. Then we all go to leave, right? So they all get, all right, we're gonna go now. Okay. So everyone gets up to leave, and then they stand at the door for another hour saying goodbye and talking. And I was like,
goodbyes,
this is 9 hours. This is 9 hours.
And nobody really knows how to say goodbye, right? Everyone just gets stuck there.
Yeah. No, and what about this? What about that? As I was like, I wish I wanted to stand there just loading a revolver. Well, no, I'm good. No, I'm not. No, this is for me. It's not for you. I'm not mad. This is for me. Click. Mow. Click. Okay. No, we can keep talking. Zzz. Mow. Didn't go.
So is anything left in the house, or has been completely ransacked?
She had some real grandma stuff too. We had the Hope Mission come over and grab the furniture, and I think Ray's coming home on Saturday, and it's
they're in the process of it now. Yeah.
And it's got to be hard. Ray takes things really, especially this person. The grandma and her mother were just they were her heart whole and pure and constant, and to have them both gone is she's really having a tough time.
Yeah.
So go to Instagram and say hi to Ray, guys. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Before we go, though, I want to go to Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts.
Time for the fun fact.
Boom, boom, boom. Hey, that was actually the best we've ever done.
That was like a whole song.
It's Ray's fault. She messes it up.
Should I do it as a trivia question? That seems to be kind of fun.
I like that.
All right.
What's the number between what's the listing between millions and trillions?
It's all right. Don't beat yourself up about it because
dude, I feel like when I looked at it, was going, I was like,
speaking of the United States, okay. What is the closest state in the United States to Africa? The closest state
to Africa.
This is a geography question, obviously. So it's not math. This isn't math.
So Africa, that's Europe. And let's go for. Florida? No, it's the other side. California?
Other side. Maine.
I was going to say Maine.
Yes.
But why? Oh, because it sticks way out.
It sticks out. Yeah.
So it's okay.
Distance-wise, yeah.
I was going to say Maine. That was my third choice. After where I don't know where things are. By the way, always ask me a geography or after a math question. Because I don't have any self-esteem to get rid of now. It's just gone. So why not just, math
there's nowhere to go.
Geography, because I'm obviously really smart about medical stuff. God, I'm a moron. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for the Titus podcast. Again, Ray
we solved healthcare today.
Yeah, we did solve healthcare. Right. Yeah, it's only cost $4 a piece. Guys, Ray will be back next week. Do me a favor. Please go hit her up on Instagram. I think it's Ray Bradley. I am at Titus Nation. What are you on?
That's a Hylinder. HYLINDER.
And go check out Hylinder's album on iTunes, Misanthroptics.
Yes, by the Willing Bureau. That's the name of the band.
Yes, the Traveling Willing Bureau. For myself, I love the Bomb Show Ray, who's absent, and the Highlander. Later.
There can be only one.
Peace out.